So most people believe that they have a limit. They look at these great athletes, celebrities, inventors, entrepreneurs, and they think, I would not be able to do that. That kind of success just is not for me. I'm just ordinary. Now, let that sink in. I'm just ordinary. Well, what if I told you that you have a whole bunch of untapped potential just waiting to be used? And this potential isn't buried in these limiting beliefs that you have about yourself. It's actually hidden within your everyday choices. So what if success isn't about having a huge spark of genius, but about learning how to better getting better? Now, the concept of hidden potential is an idea coined by psychologist and author Adam Grant. And over the next few minutes, we'll unpack powerful concepts that will completely change the way you think and, if you like it, completely transform your approach to life. You ready? Let's dive in. So we live in a culture obsessed with bright sparks and talent stories. Mozart composing at age 5, teenage tennis prodigies, child coding geniuses. But these examples warp our view of growth. They make us think either you have a gift or you don't. Well, Adam Grant challenges this. He says, we underestimate how far ordinary people can go when they adopt the right mindset, structures, and habits. And the best part is this is not theoretical fluff. Grant backs up his claims with decades of research, experiments, and real-world stories. So in this video, you'll learn why embracing discomfort is more important than avoiding failure, how to learn better, not just work harder, how to build networks, coaches, and systems to accelerate your growth, and a few surprising tricks like mistake budgets and asking for advice. That'll transform your performance. But let's start with the foundation here. Part 1, aspiration versus talent. Now, many people believe that growth has a limit, and that limit is our ability. But what if we thought about this differently? The most important predictor of success isn't where you start, but instead how far you travel. It's almost kind of like getting the most improved reward at school. Now, this concept is called distance traveled. In fact, a study of school students found that the signal of promising future performance was not a student's grades, but how much they improved over time. So in other words, someone who started at 60% and rises to 90% may outperform someone who just started at 80% and did not improve as much. Now, the momentum here matters more than the baseline. And this means that if you're not starting as an expert, good. You have space to grow. Your gains will count. And on top of this, progress is less about raw effort and more about learning how to learn. So adapting your strategies, reflecting, just being resilient. And this will make you a designer of your own path. You are in charge. Part 2, seek discomfort. You know, the most transformative 2 words that you can remember are seek discomfort. Why? Well, because it might be cliche, but growth does not happen in your comfort zone. I mean, take exposure therapy. In this kind of therapy, it's designed to help people get over their fears. So you don't avoid what scares you, you expose yourself to it in doses. And over time, what once felt uncomfortable just becomes manageable. This is growth. If facing your fear makes you clam up at the thought of failing, you need the concept of a mistake budget. Now, this is where you deliberately give yourself permission to fail a certain number of times. Let's say you set yourself a limit of 10 mistakes you can make a week in trying new skills and experimenting. And instead of never trying anything new out of fear of not being perfect or failing, you have those 10 mistakes in your budget to use on exciting new things. And what's funny is when people feel safe to fail, they take more risks. And often this means they learn faster. Part 3, learning how to learn. Okay, so by now you're welcoming discomfort, right? But what do you do about unlocking your hidden potential? Well, there are several tactics for this. Number 1, be a sponge, not a filter. You know, most people passively consume what's convenient, but instead of doing this, you can adapt to having a growth posture. And that simply means actively seeking things that are going to challenge you. And the best part about this is that the ability to seek, recognize, and apply new information just gets easier the more you practice it. Number 2, seek variety in the way you learn. Now, just because you like reading or watching videos doesn't mean that's the best way to learn for your goals. If you're feeling comfortable learning in a certain way, this could actually mean that it isn't the best way for you to learn. For example, someone who enjoys learning by listening to podcasts may never trigger cognitive strain, and this strain is where the real learning lies. Number 3, teach to learn. The coaching effect. Okay, so when you teach or coach someone else, research finds you deepen your own understanding, you reveal gaps, and you increase confidence. For example, research has shown that people who explain ideas to others show improved information retention and even more insight than those who just study. Number 4, set 2 targets, good enough and exceptional. Now, having 2 benchmarks to aim for helps to combat unhealthy amounts of perfectionism and burnout. The first benchmark should be an 8 out of 10, while the second, a 9 out of 10. And this is because chasing that perfect 10 will often paralyze you. But aiming for an 8 gives you space to work with. Number 5, sometimes you need to slow down to speed up. When growth stalls, you may need to stop and relearn the fundamentals differently. Take the example of typing speed that Adam Grant uses in his book. To jump from 30 words per minute to 60 words per minute, a 50% speed increase, just practicing won't work. Instead, you have to relearn the way you type. You learn touch typing, or you learn to type without looking at the keyboard. And by slowing down and taking a step back and rebuilding what you know, that is a powerful growth technique. Now, this list of 5 useful tactics isn't a to-do list, but instead, rather a way of shifting your mindset. So if you choose the right lever to pull, you can unlock that hidden potential. Part 4. Your environment matters too. Even with the right mindset and tactics, you'll struggle if your systems, people, and structures don't support your learning and growth. So what types of environments work best for us? Well, firstly, having a mentor or someone more senior and experienced than you to help guide you is really a transformative thing to have. And this way, you can gather feedback and different points of view that can challenge you. And next, a very underrated tip here, ask for advice, not feedback. Because feedback focuses on past performance, whereas advice gives you a way to improve next time. So for example, asking, what would you do differently if you were me in this situation? And what that does is it shifts the conversation to growth and not on judgment. Now next, you should focus on design systems to put in place in your life, rather than just the moments. And this is where your daily routines, constraints, and scaffolds matter more than occasional bursts of effort. Lastly, and definitely not least, surround yourself with the right culture. Environments matter, whether in classrooms or workplaces. Cultures that emphasize growth over ranking, experimentation over conformity, and feedback over blame makes great places for growth. Part 5, putting it into practice. So how do you take these ideas off the page and into your life? Well, let's go through a 5-step blueprint. Number 1, define your goals. You got to pick areas where you want to grow, like skills or habits or relationships. And instead of becoming an expert, just decide, get from A to B in 6 months. You got to start, you get a destination, and a time frame. Number 2, allocate a mistake budget. Decide how many experiments or errors you'll allow per week. When mistakes count down, pause and reflect. And this just gives you that freedom to explore. Number 3, build up your support network. Identify 2 or 4 people whose perspective you trust. Ask them to score your work, give you some advice, and criticize your blind spots. Rotate or refresh as needed. Number 4, teach or explain what you learn. Whether via a blog, a video, or just some casual conversations, summarizing and teaching sections of your growth journey solidifies learning. Number 5, rethink your learning modes and environment. Now, which styles push you the most? What blocks can you remove? Maybe it's time to change things up if you've been still for a long time. Let's wrap things up there. Now, everybody has hidden potential. Your hidden potential isn't about raw talent or just being born with it. It's about learning how to learn. Progress comes from embracing discomfort, using mistakes as fuel, and building supportive systems. So focus on where you're going, not your starting point. And with deliberate practice and the right mindset, growth is not only possible, but inevitable.